right, I like to pray, so let's go ahead and start. Heavenly Father, we just praise you and thank you for this day. We thank you for the people who are able to come here safely, an opportunity to learn more about the wonderful things you've given us in nature. And we pray that it'll be a blessing to us all. And please send your Holy Spirit to guide and direct us. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so I get excited about ointments. Actually, I get excited about anything herbal related, nature, life. But ointments is something I just enjoy making besides soap making. And I don't follow terminologies or things that are all the professionals saying. I just do it. So I'm going to teach you just the practical way of doing things. So if I'm looking over here more, just tell me, hermano, because I probably will end up doing that because people are here. All right. So one of the first things, you know, scoot over there. There you go. Well, no, it'll be fine. How many of you guys know what herbal ointments are? Go ahead. You can. Anybody want to say what it is? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll hear you.
Just anything with herbs. I don't know. I don't know the definition.
Hey, just tell me exactly how you would do it. Just what is it? When you tell your kids this is it, what is it?
Herbal. Like a paste or something like that you can put on your body topically.
Excellent. That's exactly it. It's an herbal infusion you can put on your body topically like a paste. That's great. That's exactly what it is. And that's the beauty of this stuff. It's so simple. So I'm going to show you how to do this. And if I keep saying so, just remind me. Just put your hand up. One of the infusions I'm doing here is with Heal All or Self Heal. This was wild harvested over in Jefferson area. Calendula and comfrey. And calendula is the way most people say this, but it's calendula. The beautiful thing about these three is their property to heal the flesh and what it does. So I'm going to tell you what it is, and then I'm going to tell you an amazing story I love. So comfrey right here contains an allantoin, a substance that helps new skin cells grow, along with other substances that reduce inflammation and keeps the skin healthy. That's pretty awesome. It's also known as bone knitter because it does wonderful things for your bones. But right now we're using it topically as an ointment. So that's what it does. So just remember, comfrey, inflammation, this is the go-to, all right? This one, the calendula, helps wounds heal faster by increasing blood flow and oxygen to the affected area, which helps the body grow new tissue. It is also used to improve skin hydration and firmness. So now you've got fights inflammation, hydrates, and firms up the skin, giving it new tissue. You seen the combination why we're going to use these two? And this is Heal All, Self Heal. It has a cooling and drying effect to the body. It is also anti-inflammatory, has an astringent property, and it's great for healing wounds. It's almost like a disinfectant. It just cleans things up beautifully. So we've got three here. Remember I said I don't like to use more than 3 or 4 herbs in any of my stuff. And this is why. If you've got 2 to 3 or 1 that does what you need, you don't need to add more. And so these are a beautiful combination. What I like to do, I like to start with 1 cup. So I took these 3 and I mixed them to my proportions, and it's up to you guys how you want to do it. If you are looking for more properties from the comfrey, put more in. If you're looking for more from the calendula, you do it. You mix it to your proportions. So I've already mixed all 3 in here to 1 cup. And I'm going to put it in my little pan. And we're using clear glass. You can use a canning jar. You can use anything you want to use.
Those are oil infused?
Those are oil infused. Remember the class prior, I was infusing. Oh, I think you guys missed that. That's okay. So I wild harvest and I infuse with olive oil. I only use olive oil. And then I did a 72-hour infusion on them. But I also keep them longer in there. And so this has been 6 months to a year. And I just leave them in there to get all the properties out of them. And then I'll pull them out. I'll strain it out. In fact, you can see the little particles in here still. I'll strain them out, and then I'll use them. And it works best. You want the most infusion time you can get, because anything less than 72, you're really just throwing your herbs out. More than 72, you're really pulling out all those strong, beautiful properties, putting it into the oil. And so that's what I did, and I strained it out. So here we're.
Do the same thing with like the essential oils of those, or is it different?
Essential oils is different. Mm-hmm. You need a distiller for this one, and if you put it in heat, it diffuses it into the air. So if I'm going to put an essential oil, which we're going to do because I have them here, I'll do it at the end, and that's what we're going to work on. So I'm going to wait for a moment. I was going to pour it in here. But what I'm going to do is beeswax is going to be what I use to thicken it up. And I like using beeswax for many reasons. One, affordable. Two, I love the smell. And three, it works the best. I've shipped ointments out across the United States, and they would come back if you used softer, like butters, it would liquefy. If you're sending it down here to Texas, I was in Washington State. I sent some down to Texas, and the lady said, I am so sorry, everything came out liquid. And I was like, well, it's cold up here, but it was hot down here. And the heat of travel made it go liquid. And so I've learned beeswax works the best for it. And then you decide on your containers. But I use 2 ounces. And normally you'll hear about 1 ounce, but I use 2 ounces. And the reason I use 2 ounces is because I found that it holds the ointment body together the best. So if we're out here in Texas, you don't want your ointments going to liquid on a hot day so quickly. It's a mess. And so I will do 2 ounces. And I brought different ones. This is one I bought. It used to have a little bee on it. It was a little cube, 2 ounce one. And it was really cute. Found it at a fair. Bought that from a bee guy. This is another block of beeswax. And it's fresh. And so you can buy it in any form. And then I also bought it from another person this way. And so beeswax comes in so many different forms. So I'm going to cut this one down.
You don't get it at Walmart, though.
I don't get it at Walmart. No, sir. I don't think I have found anything in Walmart.
So you have to go to a
You can get this at Natural Grocers. You can pick it up online on Amazon. You can pick it up at the Granary. There's so many different places. I have this knife. I'm not a meat eater, but I kept this knife. And it works great for shaving off beeswax. And you can see all the residue. And so I thought I'd show you some techniques because this stuff's hard. Does anybody want to try it who's not afraid of cutting the pasta? I shave it off. You want to come try it, sweetie? I'm going to show you, and I'll be here so I can help you. But I'm very careful to shave it off so it melts faster. I can put in this block. It'll take forever. Come this way, sweetie. And what's your name again?
Ava.
Ava. Okay, Ava, I'm going to show you. My hand stays over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I do is I just put it on the edge and just rock it back and forth as it goes down. You see that? And then it just shaves it right off. Okay, you want to give it a try? Now keep your hand over here and keep your other hand on that ball. And you're going to have to give it a little pressure. Yeah, hold on. Not so much. You want it here. Give that a try. See if you can do it. Hey, you got a piece off?
Mm-hmm. That piece.
Yep, that piece. That's a good piece. All right, what's your name, sweetie?
Capri.
Capri. Okay, go ahead and give it a try. Remember, keep your hand over here and just give it a shave. See how you do. Yeah, you got to put some pressure, huh?
pretty tough, huh?
It is.
Yeah, it looks tougher than it actually looks.
It's tougher than it actually looks, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when you get your technique down, it makes it look easy. Thank you, girls.
Yeah.
And so that's what I do. After many years of doing this, it takes pressure. Just rock it back and forth. Work around that angle.
You shave it with a cheese grater or something?
You could, but it took so much pressure of holding it against that thing, and it gunked it all up. And I've tried, like I said, I tried melting it straight in there. It took forever. I've tried so many different techniques, and I just finally just gave up and just worked with this technique. So I'm going to see if this is 2 ounces, and it's not.
What if you like heat it up the knife, warmed it up,
And melt it through.
make it easier to cut? Has that ever worked?
That was one I have not tried. I have not tried heating up the knife.
If it takes too long, or
I don't know.
once you heat up the beeswax, does it ruin the property?
It melts it down, but I don't think it ruins the property. So let's see.
Does it make candles out of it?
You can make candles out of it. Yeah, I did that when I was younger. Beeswax candles. They smell so lovely, and they have a beautiful burn. I really like those. All right, let's see where we're at. But you see the shavings? This just makes it faster to melt.
Are you measuring it?
Yes.
Trying to get 2 ounces?
2 ounces.
You're not at 2 ounces yet?
No, sir. You would think I would be, but no, I am not. But there I am.
2 ounces for how much?
2 ounces for 8 ounces of oil. Okay, so there we are. So I'm going to pour this actually in the canning jar because I actually like that better. All right. So I'm going to tell you a story while this thing's melting. Let's see if I can get it to hold well. It's one of my favorite stories. And I love the Bible, so I'm always pulling stories from the Bible. So I don't know if you guys do, but I love stories. And one of my favorite stories is we're going to let that just go until it melts, till it all turns to liquid, and then we're going to pour it out. But we're going to put some essential oils in it before we do that, okay? So one of my...
You do it right after?
Yes.
Take it out?
Right after, so it doesn't diffuse into the air, okay? One of my favorite stories is about the balm of Gilead. Have you guys ever heard about the balm of Gilead? It's actually a wonderful herb. It's from the mint family, and it has a cooling effect on the flesh. And you can find it in area like Israel, places like that. And Jeremiah was a prophet at that time, and he was saying, is there no balm in Gilead? Is there nothing that can heal the people who kept falling away and hurting and wouldn't listen to God? And he says, there's no balm in Gilead. And so he was crying out about this. And you can think it was a physical balm, but it was actually a spiritual balm. There's many times we're going about things, and there are ways to take care of ourselves. There are ways that we're being shown to help heal us, but we are going about it in a way that's not healthy for us. And we're constantly fighting against the one who's trying to lead us back to a healthier lifestyle, healthier mind. And so Jeremiah was calling out for that balm. And that balm is Jesus Christ. But also, God's given us other balms that help heal the body. And you guys have been discovering that. Different things that help with the flesh and internally, with the mind even. Things that are just like you find stressing you out and burdening you down. And it becomes too much that you have to push away. You've got to say, I've got to find out how to take care of my mind and body in a healthy way. What do I need to release? What do I need to accept? What do I have to put in my body? What do I have to take out of my body? And so these are also physical balms that we can find. And a lot of the lessons I find are actually in the Bible and in nature. And it's a beautiful gift God gives us. So as we're learning about balms, it's always fun to find the different connecting balms that are out there. And I have fun with that. So this is melting. It's going to take a little moment, so I'm going to turn this on a little bit more. I don't like to boil anything, so I just want to get this where it's going to all melt down, and it might take a moment. When we're done with this, what we're going to do, we're going to pour some out as an ointment, but I'm also going to show how to make it into like a lotion. And it's just a cooling effect. Have anybody ever done that? Oh, excellent. That is great. And it's so simple. The techniques are so simple.
Like I cut myself all the time. That was a chainsaw. On my leg was the log. There was another log here, so I cut myself all the time. I probably should take more care, learning more about this. So I can treat my
I hit my leg on a bar today.
Did you? So yeah, so this will be very beneficial to you and your family. But I found that anybody who's active and outdoorsy, you're going to have a lot of wounds. You're going to have a lot of accidents. He's checking to make sure. So you're always going to have burns. You're going to have something, and it's going to show up. And yeah, it is great to have the things to help heal that.
Is that directly in there melting, or is it on something?
I've got it on a cloth. Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys that. And here, I like to always put something underneath so it's not on the heat directly.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You get beeswax. Have you ever tried having bees and getting wax?
I would love to have bees and get wax. I had a neighbor and they had the bees and I would just buy their wax from them. And it was a great partnership.
Been trying to do that.
No bees in our home is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
No bees?
But they're coming to our lemon tree.
You have a lemon tree, huh? That is great.
They're giant lemons.
That is great. I love lemons. Where?
This is a hybrid lemon.
We got it from this old man that was making these hybrid lemons, and they're as big as yours.
Are they still flavorful and
We made like a
juicy?
gallon and a half of lemonade from home.
So I don't know. Maybe if we get plenty of lemons this year,
Yeah.
maybe we'll see what
It's
you
still
can
young,
do
but
with
it
it.
makes plenty of lemons.
That's pretty
I don't know
exciting.
what you can do with the blossoms, what properties they have.
Oh, yeah.
Blossoms smell
When you get around to it, see what you think about
Yeah.
what you can do with that.
Well, because the lemons alone, if you drink it in the morning, is a detoxifier. It helps cleanse out your system. So a cup with lemon juice in it, in warm water, drink it first thing in the morning will help detox everything out, get everything out of your system.
Have you ever used it for skin?
I have used it on eyes, a drop of lemon juice, pure lemon juice from a lemon. And say you've got pink eye, one drop in the eye or in each eye if you've got it in both eyes. It will burn, but it will take it away usually within the half an hour, if not sooner. So it's either continue using eye drops for however long you're contagious and you have it, or suffer a little burn and have it gone quickly. I've done it to myself. There was one time I had pink eye, both eyes, and it was a pretty bad case. And I was like, told my friend, hey, I need you to put this in my eye. And it's in both. And so that friend came, did it, and it burnt. It burnt. I'm not going to lie to you. Your eyes are like not wanting to open. You're crying because it burns. And I had a really bad case. So in 10 minutes, they had to do it again. And 10 minutes later, it was starting to clear up.
Wow.
And that was a pretty severe case. I think you had it. My daughter, Jennifer, had it. And we only had to do one drop in each eye and it was gone. So lemon juice is pretty powerful. You mix it with some honey and it's great for sore throats and for coughs. And lemon juice is pretty powerful on its own.
Put on the skin. If you're putting it on the skin,
Don't go out in the sun.
yeah, don't go outside because you're gonna burn really bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so do we have any questions on? You can, whatever you find that is
What did you say? Comfrey?
comfrey,
What is that?
it's a plant. It's actually not native to the United States. It was brought over from Europe and it grows these giant leaves. They're huge and a purple stalk flower will come up, a purple flower on a stalk. And they're fuzzy. They're thick and fuzzy all around it. And they irritate your skin, which is crazy that it's so great for your skin. But comfrey is a big plant. You can find it and grow it yourself and you cannot kill it. This thing will keep coming back. It is very durable.
Are they tall?
Like mullein.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like mullein, but it's not the same. Yeah. It gets bushy and it gets, the stalk will get tall.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is that the stuff that grows in the pastures and stuff?
No, that's usually the mullein or dock. Curly dock's out right now, so you'll probably see that. But these leaves are really thick and fuzzy.
Are they spiky?
No, that's something else. Yeah, but these are great. In fact, if you heat up one leaf, say you've got a break, you've got an injury or inflammation, you heat up that leaf, you can put it directly on it. It'll start the healing process. It is phenomenal.
But if you don't, it irritates your skin.
Yes. Isn't that something? It's kind of like stinging nettles. Nettles, if you're touching it, it's going to irritate your skin. But if you squeeze the juice out of it and put it on where you just got the sting, it'll take the sting away. And if you bruise it up, you can eat it. Or you get it warm, it takes the barbs away and the sting, and you can eat it up.
Did you say something like that? You can eat like an artichoke. What was it? What did you say it was? Is that stinging nettle?
I think it's yeah, because you folded it within itself and eat it, but I don't know about the artichoke part.
No, it like eats like a artichoke. You said something.
I don't know what it was.
Anyway, can't think of it.
I was like, yeah, you're going to have to remind me because I forgot to bring a stick.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, the formula. I can definitely write that. Or the herbs too. So I used comfrey. And the biggest property we're pulling from this is its ability to fight inflammation. IN, right? At 2 M's?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can tell my AD or my dyslexia is kicking in. Okay. And then this is so this one, do you guys remember what this one is good for?
The pulling the skin tighter, bringing moisture to it.
That's right.
Once it purples or not really?
Oh no. Tightening of skin. And self-heal. Do you guys remember what that was good for? That'll work.
Sorry.
That's okay. Wounds. It's great for the skin because these all have antibacterial. Yeah, and self-heal, but yeah, these are all for the skin. So it was, let's go over that really quick. Helps heal wounds faster. Is that the one you were looking? Yes, that's this one, and it improves, helps with tissue, new tissue. And so new tissue. And then this is for wounds. So if it helps heal wounds faster and your inflammation right here, you're doing a wonderful wound care. And these are great to just haul around with you.
Are these wounds like open cut wounds?
Burns, open. We've used it on, I think, just about everything, haven't we, Jenny? Okay. So this is what we're looking at right now. See that? So I'm just trying to get that to all finish off. And once we pour it, it'll start solidifying quite rapidly, actually.
You want to make sure it's all melted.
You don't want any lumps or anything in there. It's just not fun to put on your skin. And then, Jennifer, I've got a bath in the freezer for making the lotion. Can you bring that? It's the red bin. All right, so it's almost done. You guys get to take one of these home with you. This is like a little free gift. So it's something you can try and then use it. And then just tell me all the wonderful things you used it on and how your skin responded to it. To be honest, I make this stuff up and I use it for my lotion. So any of my ointments or body lotions I create, I use it on myself. Thank you. Yes, that worked.
Are they good for like old scars too?
Yes, and so is aloe vera, the gel of aloe vera.
You know, I don't know if it was just a brand, but every time I put aloe vera on me, it's
I use fresh.
not fresh.
Yeah, I use fresh and use the gel in the middle, the liquid coming out of it. That is great. To ingest it, just don't use the outer part where it turns orangey because that's not good for your insides. But the middle part is great. I take a piece, I cut off every morning, and I'll open it up and clean off the edges so it's not pokey. And I put it on too. I'll put it on my face. That's my face care. I put it on my face. And it helps with any kind of imbalance of coloring. It helps take puffiness of the eyes away. Which, you know, I'm getting older. I need a little assistance here. This barn needs a little help. All right, so this is ready. And I'm going to just open some of these up. These are, you can use any kind of containers you have or want to use. And since I was just demoing, I'm using these so that you can have one to take. I'm going to do, because I want to use some of that to make into something else too. Okay, we're going to turn you off. All right, so you see it's all liquid now. We're going to pour them out. It's going to be hot too. And I like to fill them up to just, there's 3 lines here. You can see 3 faintly. I like to fill them up just under. I don't like to short anybody, but we're going to see how much we can do with what we have so we can save some for the next part. And it is hot. And you can see it against the lid. Do you see that? It's already, and that's what I like about using 2 ounces instead of 1. I like it to solidify quickly so I can get them out the door. They don't melt so fast, which is a blessing.
And it's easy. Is it easy to put on the skin?
Oh, I almost spilt that guy. Okay, so with this guy, this I put in the fridge. Oh, probably out of your light. And so it's ice. It's in the freezer, and you can see chunks of ice. And that's what you're going to want to cool this down quickly. Actually, sorry, Hermano, I know I'm probably going to drive you nuts with all my moving around. You're going to have to forgive me. Just remember, brothers are patient with their sisters. He's like, Okay. I'm going to move this guy. See if I can do this without making a mess. So I can move this guy over here. So I got to plug him in. And I have this beautiful little hand wand. You can find these. I pick these up at thrift stores for $3, $5, or at estate sales. And anytime I find one, I just pick them up because I use them with soap making. And anytime I'm demoing, I want people to be able to use it. So here I'm going to put this into the bath. So it's getting nice and cold. And then I'm going to pour this into that. And I'm going to start blending it. If this was clear, you would be able to see the process so much better. And I'm so sorry I did not bring a clear glass. But if you want to see it, you can come a little closer if you want. And right away, you see it starting to do its thing. So I'm going to put this in that, and I'm going to, oh, I forgot. So this was, whatever this is, we're going to put another oil in for half the way. So if this is half a cup, we're going to put a half a cup of extra oil into it. I'm using almond oil because it's got a wonderful property in it. And so I'm going to put it in here. And if you're just looking at this, you can see already what it's doing. And I'm going to start mixing it. Just want it to all mix. Normally I would put shea butter and almond oil and all kinds of stuff in here. Just give it a beautiful texture and wonderful properties for the skin. But this time I just put almond oil and we're going to blend it all up so it turns into a lotion instead of an ointment. Let's solidify in here. Okay, put some more.
Is there a reason you're cooling it quickly? Adding the
Yes.
reaction.
The reaction, and it makes it so it doesn't harden up like an ointment. Because you want it like a lotion. You know how lotion goes on smooth and it's absorbed into the skin? You want that to happen.
Something about it freezing faster.
It cools it down, yeah. It's my shortcut.
Oh.
Instead of waiting till they all get room temperature, I use this.
It looks kind of like vanilla batter.
It does, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Like vanilla batter. I like that. And on the sides, you can see how it's hardening up on the sides, but in the middle, it's not doing that anymore. And that's exactly what we want it to be. Because then you can put this in a container and pour it out or use it however you want. And the reason I would use shea butter normally is because it absorbs into the skin a lot faster. So yeah. So the difference in texture is, see how creamy it is here? It just goes on smoother and it'll be still liquidy.
Won't there be a layer of wax on your skin after you?
There will be. We live in Texas. A lot of people will argue vice versa with absorption. And you don't want the wax, they'll say. But I have found that hydration, I want that wax. I want to keep those properties in. And some people might have a reaction if they have too big of pores. And it might trap and they might have something like acne. I've yet to come across that. My kids have used it and they've got different skin than I do. Friends have used it. We haven't had that kind of issue. But I always tell people, do what works best for you. You know your skin. You know what's best. If you don't feel like using that much beeswax, use less. Mix it with some shea butter. Mix it with, I usually don't like using too much coconut oil because it dries out the skin. And so that's my biggest thing. So you see that? Look how that works. You got it on everything too. That's half the fun. Is seeing how big of a mess you can make.
Do they squeeze almond to make milk? That you see almond milk.
No. You know, you got to get up really early in the morning to make that almond milk because it takes a long time to squeeze those udders to get the milk. No, that's another class we're going to be teaching. All right. So see that? Put this over here. That's what you want if you're going to make a lotion. And it just works great. It keeps it liquidy, so you can spread it and put it in other containers. So that's one technique. And again, you can do it however you want. The other technique is here, solidifying right now. And you can see already how quick. It's the beeswax mixture. And so if you want it softer, do 1 ounce. If you want it thicker and harder, add more. And so I told you, this is usually the time at the end where we would add an essential oil. We didn't do it to that one, but this is where you would find something, put it in. My favorite essential oils are things that give it an earthy smell, an earthy flavor. He's giving me a look because he's like, don't say patchouli. But I do. He doesn't like it. Most people are like, I love patchouli. And if I found that if you mix it with some cedar wood and some cypress and a little tea tree oil, it gives it almost like a forest smell, a real woodsman smell.
Like pretty strong.
Yeah, so I make sure that the patchouli is the least in my mixture, but it gives it that soil smell, and it's my favorite. So I'm out in the woods all the time. I happen to love that smell. And so here's your 2 different ways to make this. And again, like now you see, this will stay this way. It'll be used for just about anything. And then here's
How long will it stay? I mean, how long?
Okay, depending on if you put it outside or how you keep it cool, I've got ointments that have lasted over a year. But I have some that went rancid because they were in the heat and the sun and they just did not last. So it's really depending on how you keep them. This one will.
Do you recommend keeping them in the refrigerator?
No, I don't keep them. Just keep them in a cool, dark spot out of direct sunlight. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
I'll give you guys one of each so you can try it. Edit that one out. Is there any more questions about ointment making? All right, and remember, add your oils at the end, and just make sure you make the adjustments for it. Mix it thoroughly.
Can you add the essentials to that ointment too?
Yes, you want to do it before you pour it out. So if I had it here still, I would have poured it in, mixed it in, and then pour it out. And the same with this. I can still add it at any time before it. And then you just put them out. Any questions? All right, well, that's our class. Thank you.